Hello there. This is gonna be a little bit rougher than my usual fare uh, story, but I feel it needs to be told. Wrote it a while back. Take it as it is. Uh, it's called the woodcutter's. Yeah, it's called the woodcutter's hand. So back about 20 years ago, in a wooded lot, there was an old shack with a woodshed out back. And a woodcutter lived there, and his wife, two kids. One was a little young'un. Her name was Daisy. She loved to play out in the back, do all the things that kids love to do. She was a joy, a shining light to the family. But see, the woodcutter got to drinking, and him and the wife started to have a little bit of a ruckus. And as ruckus got a little bit lively, things were said, hurtful words, words like knives. They were spat around and slapped each other in the face with their tongues. Till the woodcutter did what he had sworn never to do. He laid a hand on his wife, slapped her right across the cheek. You could see that mark. He looked down at his hand, and it was disgusting to him. He couldn't stand the sight of it. Day in, day out, it festered. A sickly, awful hand. The hand was something he loathed. Then one night, he snuck out the back. Daisy watched him from her window. She slid it on open, crawled on out as she'd done before, watched her daddy walk on into that little wood shop. She got closer, she could hear the whir of the saw. Whir. It zipped and zanged until she heard another sound. Not the sound of ripping wood, but something much more soft, something much more juicy, something that didn't sound right. It sounded wrong. It sounded like something like terror in a sound. Something tore inside of her as well. She ran back to the house, back to her room, but she couldn't sleep. She kept seeing, kept hearing that whir, that tear. Next morning, Daddy come to breakfast. When the woodcutter lifted his arm, there was just a nub, all tied up in white and red bandages. His wife screamed. Things got a little heated again, but he calmly said everything will be fine now. Everything will be okay. He went out, took that hand to the garbage heap, sent it on to whatever landfill it would go to. Went back home. That was that. Daisy saw him march back up into the house, looking like a weight had come off of him. Then a knock came at the door. Tap, tap, tap. He looked back at it, the door. But Daddy didn't answer. No, the woodcutter just turned away. But the knocking was insistent. Tap, tap, tap. It kept tapping. 20 minutes went by. An hour. The hand wouldn't stop knocking. So he opened the door. Yanked it open. There was nothing there. But just as he started to close that door, he saw something like a spider scurry right into the house. As he shut the door, he turned, and there the hand was, staring at him sitting there like a spider waiting to pounce. He went after it, crossing, trying to slam things on it, trying to push anything he could do. It ran up into the attic, and he left it there. He went up into the attic, tossing boxes over and throwing things around, trying to find whatever he could, till hours and hours went by, till it was late in the evening, and his wife and daughter asking him what's going on. Nothing, he said, as he came back down. It's time to put the kids to bed. Puts them to bed. Daisy's the last one. Daisy asked her daddy, "Why'd you cut it off, Daddy?" He looks at her and he says, "You'll find out one day. You'll find out." Kissed her on the forehead. Walks out the door. Down the hall to his room. Not but 10 feet. He hears a blood-curdling scream. Him and his daughter go down. Him and his wife go down to the boy's room. And this hand had latched itself to his throat, to his boy's throat, just squeezing at it. And he goes in and he knocks the hand off. He goes running after it. Spider crawling all over the walls and all over the house. Can't get it. He stops, he thinks. He goes and grabs a racket. Comes back. Nothing's there. Then you see some shadow creeping up over the baby crib. Third little young'un they had coming. He goes after it. Knocks it to the side of the room. Bounces off the wall. And skitters out into a hole. They looked all over for it, but they couldn't find it. Finally, his wife had it. She's yelling at him. They go back to bed, though. And that's when they hear another scream. They go into Daisy's room this time. There's a big red mark on her face. It pains him to see it. His wife looks down and says, "I'm leaving." He says, "Good. You get out of here. Take the kids. Don't tell me where you're going. I got a pretty good idea. So the wife grabs up Daisy, her brother, and the little one, heads out to the car and starts to get ready to drive. Daisy's all in tears, asks if she can sit in the back, the very back, where that little door is on their SUV. She says, all right. Lets her, because she's, well, you know how mamas are. Couldn't help but let those puppy dog eyes get what they wanted. When they got to her mother's house, the boy's grandmammy, she looked in the back. No Daisy. See, Daisy had slipped on out back through that latch, that door, like she'd done 100 times. Jogged back to the house. There she found her daddy, the woodcutter. He was tossing gasoline, and kerosene, propane, whatever he could toss on that house that was flammable, anything. If he couldn't catch this thing, he'd burn it out, or burn it down. He sees Daisy, he catches her, and he grabs her and walks out, lights the house. It goes up in flames. He's watching it burn. Fire engulfing every inch of it. Almost a hiss sound comes out, and the hand flailing and flaming darts out. Heads downhill toward a field of red, rusted colored amber grass. Just then, house, the flames heating elements, big boom, and woodcutter finds himself on his back. Daisy's up a ways. He looks to Daisy and says, "Here, take the racket. Go get it." She goes out, chasing after that hand in the grasses. That field's burning, starts to become a flames. She's watching where the fire is. She's running to try and get any kind of help she can. Then it corners her amidst the flames. Jumps right up, pounces on her, knocks her to the ground. Hands sitting there on her chest, waiting to strike. Bop! The hand goes flying back into the flames. Golf club raised up above her. And there was her, in the grip of the woodcutter's other hand. He looked at her and said, "Baby doll, I gotta do one last thing. I need you to run and find your mama." And with that, he turned toward the flames and ran in. He didn't scream. He didn't holler. He bit down and took every lash of the fire and flame. The hand writhed and fell. Screams finally erupted from the flaming field. Then in came the fire department. Helicopters dousing water on the field, and Daisy's looking everywhere. They found the woodcutter there, charred, black, but still breathing. One good hand, only lightly burned. The rest of him covered, black and ashiness. They carted him off on a air vac helicopter. Meanwhile, they looked for the hand, or Daisy did, and Mama, and the boy, but that hand was never found. Besides, maybe a good little pile of ashes next to a blackened stump. No one ever knows what happened to that hand for sure. Most stories would end right there. Scary stories. But this one don't. See, that air vac helicopter went to a burn center. Well, nearest hospital, nearest burn center anyway. And when that woodcutter came to next morning, there was his wife, his son, and his little daughter, Daisy. He reached out his hand, wasn't sure if anybody would take it. Daisy's small fingers ran up, lifted up and grabbed the palm. Sure, it hurt, but he loved it just the same. Tears welled up in his eyes and spilled over onto his charred skin. They felt like hell, or burned like hell, but they felt like heaven. The end.